Oh, there's no way. I got the gun.
Dude, what the fuck are these people doing?
Yeah, you're staying sick with your fucking scout, dude. Hell yeah, man.
Nice! Nice! Good job!
Trash!
You're bubbling like a fucking dumbass. Get out of here.
Suck!
Amazingly, she was a one shot.
Oh! Yes! Yes! No! No!
This game's what I imagine it feels like to be addicted to gambling, you know, without the crushing debt. If you play the game regularly, you probably know what I mean, but if you're anything like me, you pretty much refuse to play any of the fast-paced shooters. Because the fact is, Apex just kinda hits different. Something that might be difficult to get across in video or explain with words, but goddammit, I'm gonna try. First, I'll try to compare to arguably Apex's biggest competitor right now, Warzone. Why don't we take a look at some gameplay? Being totally honest, it's not completely fair to compare these games, since they've diverged pretty far from each other since the days when Titanfall and Advanced Warfare were competing. These days, Call of Duty's mostly moved away from movement shooters, as much as their play base still wants it to be on.
You see that right there? Like look how quick that is.
You guys say there's no movement in this game.
These days, they seem to focus more on immersion. From what I can tell, Warzone seems to be more of like a military simulator kind of experience, or maybe like a military action movie kind of thing. Or it's like a military Fortnite, right? Fortnite for adults. You got Bruce Willis and Godzilla and stuff.
Yippee-ki-yay! Call of Duty is #1. You're welcome.
For a bit more of a fair comparison, let's go back and look at some of the movement Call of Duties. It doesn't really matter which one, because they all basically play the same. They have all these movement mechanics, like jetpacks, wall running, and of course slide boosting. But they all just kind of fall flat because there's just no feeling of momentum. You don't build or carry momentum through any of these abilities, and as a result they all feel totally disconnected. I mean, I'm not even convinced you can go faster than a slide boost in these games. Compare this to Apex or Titanfall, and the difference is night and day. Anyone can tell just by picking up the controller or keyboard. The movement in these games just instantly feels better. I know it's not exactly a hot take to be saying that Titanfall is better than Advanced Warfare or Black Ops 3, but it just goes to show how important Titanfall's engine is in creating such fun and unique gameplay. Suddenly, it becomes very clear why Call of Duty moved away from this type of game. They were massively outmatched. To even get close to what Titanfall had would take years, and most likely a complete rework of their game engine. I could go into specifics about how the game's based on a heavily modified version of the Source engine and all that, but let's be honest, you've heard it all before. This video isn't really about that. This video is about how Apex makes you feel. Optimizing your movement and keeping momentum going as long as possible isn't just incredibly fun, It also adds a huge skill ceiling, and that's the main reason and I'm sure many others, keep coming back to the game. None of it feels super OP or unfair, it just feels insanely satisfying. And while it's not super powerful, you can gain distinct advantage if you use it right.
I have no bullets, you bitch!
I'm gonna come out with a controversial opinion here and say I actually prefer Apex's movement to Titanfall. Yes, in Titanfall you can go crazy and fly around the map at max speed. Apex movement is toned down, but it's also significantly harder to pull off. I mean, some of that is literally because it wasn't meant to be in the game, like wall bouncing. But wall bouncing is insanely fun. Almost more fun than wall running. When you actually hit a wall bounce in a fight and it gives you an advantage, you feel like a god. Add to this the massive array of abilities in Apex and the possible interactions between them, and you've got something a lot more complex than Titanfall ever was. I mean, Titanfall was fun but it never gave me the same kind of rush that I get from Apex. In Apex, kills feel like they matter, like they were earned. I think this at least partially comes down to the high health in Apex, which allows for much more strategic back and forth fights. For the most part, it isn't enough to just start shooting first. There's so many factors to consider in a fight that I'm not even going to try to list them, but they all add up to a game where most fights feel fair, even if you got caught off guard by a sniper. That's one of the things that keeps me coming back to Apex, because even if I die and I feel like shit, it never feels unfair. I always know I died because I f***ed up. Apex isn't perfect, but it managed to keep me invested for longer than pretty much any other shooter I've played. And I've not even touched on half of the shit in this game. So many unique weapons, items and abilities. There's only one game that has more depth than this, and that's Fortnite. Yo, what's up? This video took way longer than it should have. Pretty sure I started working on this in like end of season 13. But if you enjoyed it, like and comment to boost the algorithm, show it to more people, and subscribe if you feel like it. Yeah, cheers.